I now call on the representative of Armenia for the second intervention.
Thank you, Mr. President. I apologize for taking the floor the second time to reply to second reply by the delegation of Azerbaijan. The reaction of the delegation of Azerbaijan is yet another demonstration of this member state openly disrespecting international law, international humanitarian law, and this very whole of the United Nations by justifying the use of force against the people of Nagorno-Karabakh and normalizing the threat of use of force in international relations. Claiming to have any respect towards freedom of movement after 10 months of unlawful blockade that starved the population of Nagorno-Karabakh is the utmost level of cynicism. The situation in Nagorno-Karabakh reminds us of the roots of the modern stage of the conflict, when the peaceful human rights aspiration of people of Nagorno-Karabakh were met with mass violence and pogroms of the Armenian population in Sumgait in February 1988 and in early 90s in Baku, Kirovabad and other settlements in Azerbaijan. Hundreds of Armenians living in Azerbaijan were killed, tortured, maimed. Hundreds of thousands were deported. The lack of accountability for the past crimes has created fertile ground for elevating the instigation of anti-Armenian sentiments to the level of state policy in Azerbaijan. Over decades, the prominent historic, cultural, and religious heritage of the Armenian communities in territories throughout Azerbaijan came to be razed to the ground. Cultivation of racism and anti-Armenian hatred, along with the continued incitement of violence on ethnic and religious ground, have been well documented in numerous reports of the international organizations, revealing systemic nature of racial profiling, hateful and incendiary rhetoric, the prevailing sense of impunity and glorification of hate crime perpetrators in Azerbaijan. To this date, Azerbaijan has not undertaken any measure to bring those responsible for anti-Armenian hate crimes to justice. We should bear that in mind when we hear Azerbaijan's claims being determined to reintegrate ethnic Armenian residents as equal citizens. The world is well aware of the way in which rights and freedoms are guaranteed in Azerbaijan. The world is also well aware of the human rights record of Azerbaijan. Moreover, the prevalence of hate speech in Azerbaijan vis-à-vis anyone and anything Armenian is fully recognized by any and all. Mr. President, already more than 28,000 forcibly displaced persons have entered Armenia from Nagorno-Karabakh as of today, and this mass displacement continues right now as we speak. What is happening now is nothing else but the final stage of a pre-planned ethnic cleansing of Nagorno-Karabakh of its Armenian population by Azerbaijan. That was enabled because of the failure of international community to respond to the clearly detectable warning signs and to protect the vulnerable population. Armenia will continue to appeal to the United Nations, its respective bodies, relevant international actors to stand up to the responsibility to protect the people of Nagorno-Karabakh, to uphold the norms of international law, the purposes and principles of the UN Charter, and the values of peace and humanity. I thank you, Mr.
That was the last speaker exercising the right of reply. This therefore concludes that segment of our meeting. May I therefore take it that it is the wish of the Assembly to conclude its consideration of Agenda Item 8. I see no objection. It is so decided. Before closing the meeting, I should like to take the opportunity on all our behalves to thank the translators and interpreters for having worked beyond the stipulated time in order to facilitate the seamless conclusion of the work of the General Assembly. We are in their debt. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.